After a disappointing start to the season, the Cleveland Cavaliers get a great update on their starting point guard's injury. Darius Garland, after the game, or during the game, decided to speak about his injury and gives an amazing update. We're going to dive into that and more here on Cavs Digest, why him coming back from injury is so important. Are the Cavaliers really better with Darius Garland? Because I know a lot of people in the offseason said Darius Garland doesn't help us. He doesn't play defense. I think we should trade him. A lot of stuff like that was mentioned. But I think this injury update is something we should really dive into, talking positively and maybe some negativity about Darius Garland. More of that on Cavs Digest today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm Matt Palange. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscriber button because just under 72% of you are not subscribed. But if you want to stay updated with everything and all things Cavaliers, such as this, that is what you should do. Hit that subscribe button because you can get post-game thoughts, pre-game thoughts. You can get reactions of all that stuff. You can get injury updates, trade rumors, trades, all that stuff. Everything that happens with the Cavaliers, storylines about players, whatever. Come to Cavs Digest. Now let's talk about the update to Mr. Darius Garland. So Darius Garland originally, when his injury came down in June, because he had the toe injury in the playoffs or whatever that forced him out of time, there was a lot of talk surrounding his injury. It said originally that he was supposed to be out like 3 to 4 months, and that he was going to, some people said he was going to return like 1 or 2 months. There was a lot of that, but Darius Garland, during the game in an interview, decided to speak out about his injury, stating that, actually, instead of telling you, actually, I will show you here. So we're listening to this video. This is Darius Garland's injury update that he gave himself during the Knicks Cavaliers opening day.
As you're close, so how much longer? When are we going to see you back out here?
I have a date in my head. I'm not going to date right now, but I'm pretty close.
How's it feel now?
I'm feeling really good. I'm back playing live in practice, going 5 against the team. Yeah, I'm working out every day, moving around, so
that is the injury update, or the most important part of the injury update that he mentioned in an interview during the game while the Cavaliers were getting killed by 15. As Sam Merrill knocked down a 3, we actually are going to talk about Sam Merrill here in a second because we're going to talk about Darius Garland's injury in full soon here. But he has basically turf toe is what it is, essentially. Same thing that Joe Burrow has, except Garland's isn't as bad, I believe. I think he had toe surgery, something like that. I'm pretty sure he says after that video that in the playoffs that he couldn't walk, which is kind of crazy to me because he was playing. He claims that he just couldn't walk at all in the playoffs or while he was playing. I don't know if that's like actually true, but that's what he says. So, but yeah, he basically claims that he couldn't walk in the playoffs at all. Whatever. Either way, Darius Garland seems to be doing really, really well. But there is more update. And then after the rest of this update, we're going to talk about Darius Garland and kind of why his injury is, him coming back is beneficial to the Cavs, even though a lot of you guys seem to throw shade at Darius Garland's game, but we're going to talk about positives to it. And I think the New York game shows a lot. Obviously, they play Brooklyn today. I do believe that this should be the first one of the season, or as I said, should be. Not sure if it will be, but it should be. And he will not be there again. It'll probably be the same starting lineup. Wow. But anyways, let's go more into the injury update. So this is from Caleb Crowley at KingJamesGospel.com. Garland clarified that he does not have a clear date for return, but he is already resuming 5-on-5 practice with his teammates. By this point, he was only expected to be gradually returning to light practices. His progress is promising, especially for a team that is also without Max Strus for months and DeAndre Hunter for a short time. So that's why the return of Darius Garland is important outside of just his gameplay itself, because of the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers team is very, very injured right now. But I guess one positive is I'd rather have them be injured. I don't want anyone to be injured at all, but I'd rather have it now than later in the season because we saw in the playoffs I don't even want to talk about Game 2 at all, so maybe I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. But Game 2 against the Pacers where the Cavs blew like that 25-point lead and the Tyrese Haliburton game winner, the worst Cavs game I've watched in recent memory. That game was unbelievably disgusting. But anyways, we had no Mobley, no Garland, no Hunter. And that just cannot happen. I mean, like, sometimes the best ability is availability, and that just simply couldn't happen at all. So the fact that Garland just couldn't play, Garland even said that he thinks that if he was healthy, the Cavs would win the chip last year. Of course, he's going to say that, but Anyways, so now that we kind of got the full update for you guys, if you guys want to learn more about why this is important, make sure you stay and continue watching. So we're going to talk about a couple players. First one is Lonzo Ball, who is the backup point guard of the Cavaliers, and it was in that slot versus the Knicks on Wednesday. So the thing with Lonzo is that the difference between him and Garland is that Lonzo is a better playmaker, a better defender, a better rebounder, but his ability to create a shot for himself is significantly worse. Significantly might be crazy, but it's relatively worse because Lonzo kind of stepped back from creating shots. Like when he was at Chino Hills in high school and UCLA, he was just mainly that guy. Like he was creating shots, he was shooting from 40 foot, not actually, but he was shooting from deep. Basically, people, I don't know if you guys remember this. They were saying that Lonzo Ball was Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical or something like that. That was like the whole thing. But that's basically what he did. Like he just shot phenomenal. Like he shot really well, and he was a shot creator. But he definitely took a step back. But he does some things where he can find every open spot in the court. This is something from the preseason that I noticed. Watch who Lonzo passes to. He throws a lob to an open Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell didn't even realize he was open. What he finds on the court is so impressive, and I love his playmaking ability. But the reason Darius Garland needs to be back is because these guys complement each other really well. You have a guy that's able to play great defense and can score, but is mainly going to play defense, and rebound. On the other hand, you have Darius Garland, whose main objective is going to be to create a shot for himself and make off of it. And so you're going to have a complementary duo of defense and playmaking with some scoring, with a point guard whose main objective is to score and make, but doesn't really play defense that well. Like that's Darius Garland's main thing. So these guys complement each other really, really well. Going on to Sam Merrill can't create a shot for himself. So in the starting lineup, like no offense to Sam, I actually was fine with the way he played in the second half at least. In the first half, he was kind of useless, actually. I didn't like the way he played in the first half at all, but the second half he looked a lot better. I think the biggest thing with Sam Merrill is that he just can't create a shot for himself. Cavs love him, though. And I like how he defends, or at least plays hard on defense. But he doesn't really do anything but shoot. And I just don't know. It seems like the fact that Donovan Mitchell in the starting lineup is the only guy that created a shot for himself. That's the biggest issue. That's why I want to talk about Merrill here, because with Merrill in the starting lineup, you literally have one guy that can create a shot for himself. You could have Mobley create shots in the post, I guess, but that doesn't do enough. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't do enough. You need Darius Garland in there, because then you have two guys that can create a shot for themselves. While when he's on the game, you just have guys creating shot for each other. Jalen Tyson being a lineup, he's not going to do that. But shout out Jalen Tyson starting, I guess. I don't know what to tell you about that, but yeah, you really, really need Darius Garland in the starting lineup, especially when you look at this box score. Merrill shot 11. Merrill shot the third most on the team, which is fine. But Lonzo shot 1 for 7. Craig Porter Jr. is not going to play more than 7 minutes. Stop asking him to, guys. Please stop asking him to, please. He's not going to do it. But as of right now, you just need guys that can create a shot, because Dean Wade can't. Larry Nance played very, very well, but he can't create a shot for himself. Craig Porter Jr. can. Tyrese Proctor can. But those guys are, not proven enough. Those guys haven't played enough to just 100% trust him in the Darius Garland position. Although I would actually be really, really, really down for Tyrese Proctor to play 20-plus minutes against the Nets. I would love to see Proctor get some playing time, because I think Proctor really, really does have upside. But overall, just the bench is fine. I don't know. It's so Thomas Bryant needs to play too. I already talked about that, but the fact that Darius Garland's injury just allows you to have no playmakers. You don't have anyone that can go get a shot for themselves here. Proctor can, but he's a rookie. Craig Porter Jr. can, but he sucks. I'm about to get shade for that one. He doesn't suck. He's just not. I just don't like Craig Porter Jr. that much. Gameplay-wise, I don't see why he plays enough. He shouldn't play more than Proctor. He shouldn't play more than Darius Garland. Dean Wade can't create a shot for himself. Larry Nance can't create a shot for himself. Mobley, it can, but it's in the low post. Jalen Tyson, I guess, can, but he doesn't have enough confidence. Sam Merrill can't, and Donovan Mitchell can't. There's not enough of it. So the Cavaliers, yes, I know you guys hate on Darius Garland, but they need that so he can pair well. They need him so he can pair well with Lonzo. Unless a guy like Proctor makes a massive step up, then Darius Garland at the starting point guard is what needs to happen right now because of the ability to create a shot for themselves. So that's it for me here on Cavs Digest. I hope you guys got some input on Darius Garland's injury, as well as getting input on why Darius Garland actually may be more important than you think. Because I know a lot of you guys, and even me sometimes, really question if Darius Garland is worth it. But I totally believe that after seeing that Knicks game and just seeing the Cavs' inability to handle the ball and create a shot, I do really think that Darius Garland is more beneficial than we give him credit for. So I hope you guys learned something, or maybe you disagree with me still, and that's 100% okay. Let me know in the comments below. Share this video with your friends. Thank you guys. I'm Matt Palange. Thank you guys for watching me here on Cavs Digest.